compendium of 177 tribal health districts, which we are going to launch today. We have also developed the Swasthya portal with help of and in respect of 177 tribal health districts, we have data not only in respect of health infrastructure but also availability of doctors, prevalence of diseases. Another recommendation of expert committee here has to be a focused governance structures for tribal health. We have initiated a tribal health action plan, district plan for tuberculosis. Today we have also the launch of Tribal Health Cell and National Council on Tribal Health, which will create a dedicated mechanism for collaboration not only among the various ministries but also between government and non-government organizations. Another recommendation of that committee was mainstreaming of tribal healers and tribal medicines and their indigenous practices and bringing them in the mainstream. So today we have with us Director AIMS, and we have also given many projects to various center of excellences who are working on tribal identification of tribal healers. In last one and a half year, we have identified more than 4,000 tribal healers, and now we are designing curriculum and to bring them in mainstream. We have also collaboration with QCI, who will be registering them, and the tribal areas, there are a lot of indigenous plants. We are also validating them through NIPER and other organizations. Another recommendation of expert committee was regarding sickle cell disease. As you know, this is a disease which is prevalent among tribals, and more than 15 lakh tribals, they are affected with this disease. Based on these recommendations and based on our learnings in last few years, in 2020 we had prepared a tribal health action plan. As you can see in the first column, in tribal health action plan, the most important part is saturation of tribal areas with PHCs and CHCs. So this is foremost priority in health action plan. Then, as you know, due to the remoteness, large number of PSCs and CSC, they do not have doctors. So we have developed various models. So one of them was Satellite Center for Tribal Health and Research. Director AIMS, sir, they have already in Sirohi experimented this, and we are planning that this model can be replicated in other areas. And similarly, as far as the tribal healers are concerned, how they can be brought into mainstream. Thirdly, telemedicine, because of remoteness, is one such area which needs to be explored. Today with us is sir, and we will request him, Dr. Paul, that the new policy on telemedicine, how interministerial collaboration and looking in mind the tribal areas, remoteness, how telemedicine center can play an important role. Collaboration with non-government organizations. We have today collaboration with more than 50 NGOs and partners like Piramal, and today we are also planning to launch this tribal health collaborative, which is also part of this tribal health action plan. These are the collaborations with different ministries where WCD, Skill Development, Ministry of Health, MITI, they will be partners in this tribal health collaborative. I'll not go into the details of detailed health action plan, but as you can see, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, we plan to establish about 350 PHCs and 93 CSCs. Then through Ayush also tribal PSCs, and then validation of traditional medicines through Ayush, then role of MOTA and Ministry of Skill Development in these training of these tribal healers. So these are the roles of various ministries. So after this tribal health action plan was developed, this was shared with NITI, Ministry of Health, and all the state governments. As you can see, 8 state governments, they have given detailed requirements which can be taken up during PIPs this year. So Honorable Minister has also written to all the state governments, and Secretary has written to Chief Secretaries that when we are making plans for tribal health this year, then all these considerations should be taken into account. Next and foremost is launch of National Tribal Health Council. So because there are multi-stakeholders in this, so we have proposed that Minister of Tribal Affairs, Minister of Health, they will be the co-chair, and Secretary Health, Secretary Mota, and Secretary Ayush, they will be part of the committee. Then we have also requested Honorable Member Niti Ayog to be part of this committee, and civil society representatives, so that we can have a detailed action plan under Tribal Health Collaborative. What today we plan to do, I'll summarize next 1.5 year roadmap. If we can establish 500 PSCs and 100 CHCs in tribal deficient areas during PIPs, launch of 19 June, as all of you know, is a sickle cell day. If we can launch the plan on 19 June for sickle cell, then integration of 5,000 tribal healers with the health system, since training modules and curriculum has already been developed by our different partners. Then we have about 740 EMRSs which will be coming in next 2 years, and there is a very good internet connectivity which will be there. So we propose that if we can establish telemedicine centers there, as AIMS has done in Sirohi in one of the EMRSs. So next would be 50 institutions, satellite centers. If we can ask medical colleges, AIMS and other private colleges, some of the colleges, they have also shown interest in this area. The health cell will monitor the tribal health plan, and since large number of non-government organization is there, and under Piramal Foundation and Bill Melinda Gates Foundation, they have taken a lead for this collaborative. So our request will be that rather than there being a scattered funds available, we are proposing that there should be a tribal health fund where all those non-government and other organizations who have CSR or corporate money available, or if many of them, they are already working in tribal areas, if we can pool these funds so that there is an integrated and comprehensive approach for tribal health collaborative. We propose that 2 meetings at least should be there of this Tribal Health Council, so that they can monitor and guide the different stakeholders of the Tribal Health Action Plan. With these few words, I'll just once again thank all of you, because most of you have come from outside Delhi also, and despite COVID being there, I'm very, very grateful that your gestures for coming here and being part of this initiative. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kapoor. Ladies and gentlemen, to understand the complexities that tribal health involves, we have with us 2 experts who will make presentations, and I'll invite them one by one. First, I'd like to request Dr. Sanjeev Mishra, Director, AIMS Jodhpur, to tell us more about the integration of tribal healers and the satellite center.
Good evening. Respected Dr. Harshvardhan, Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Shri Arjun Mundaji, Honorable Minister of Tribal Affairs, Dr. Subramaniam, Professor Paul, Mr. Piramal, Mr. Menon, all the dignitaries on and off stage, and the experts attending this tribal meeting. So we will just present you a brief overview of what we have been doing at AIMS Jodhpur with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs about the integration of tribal leaders and the satellite Ministry of Tribal Affairs there. So AIMS Jodhpur with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs was designated as a center of excellence for tribal health. And we had 3 things in it defined: tribal healers, looking at them and what are their indigenous practices; the Satellite Center for Tribal Health and Research, and MITR, a tribal telemedicine center at Siroi. So we picked up Siroi district, which is one of the aspirational districts designated by the NITI Aayog. And it's a tribal, predominantly tribal-driven district. And the area which is, we have taken up Abu Road and Mount Abu and Siroi, it's around 150 kilometers from Jodhpur. And we started working with the tribal healers and looking at the indigenous practice. And our aim was to study the knowledge, attitude, and the practice of these tribal healers about the prevalent diseases in the tribal community in the Siroi district. So this was what we had started. And the action plan was, first, we'll define all the tribal healers in the aspirational district Siroi, then identify the genuine tribal healers, then document their tribal and traditional practices, and prepare a module of training document for tribal healers, and then list the genuine tribal healers to the Quality Council of India. They're working with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So we were able to identify nearly 1,000 tribal healers, and they're commonly called as Bhopa in the traditional language there. And of them, 108 tribal healers practice some kind of traditional healing or herbal-based practice, while 90% practice what is called as a jhar phunk, or you can say exorcism, but then 108 we could really define and say that these are genuine tribal healers in some form. And they were doing some 30 traditional practices for different diseases which were identified. And then now we'll be working on developing a module which is with pictorial presentations or gamification for training of these healers for capacity building and quality improvement. So we wanted to work with them and be a part of the system, whatever they're trying to take good practices of them and also introduce good practices from our side also to them. And we are also working with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs to bring the listing of these tribal healers to the Quality Council of India. And this is just our team with the Siroi, which is working with the tribal healers. And the second was the Satellite Center for Tribal Health and Research, which was in Abu Road, Tehsil, in the district of Siroi. So we all know Mount Abu, it's associated with the Brahmakumari thing. So Abu Road is a place just before Mount Abu. And this was the first of its kind to provide quality health services and research activity dedicated to the tribal area in an aspirational district, mentored and facilitated by the All India Institute of Medical Sciences at Jodhpur. And this was a tribal-centric need-based research to focus on the health needs and well-being of the locals, a unique opportunity for training and exposure for healthcare workers of health about the health status of the tribals, because this is also an opportunity for us, being a tertiary center, to go out into the fields and public and work with the and expose our doctors to these tribal problems which is there at their side, and also to provide quality health services to tribal areas and an active data collection about health issues with actionable objectives. So there was this Bhavan, or the which we have taken with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, where we are running this satellite center. And the satellite center, we're looking from communicable to non-communicable diseases which are there, common being tuberculosis, silicosis, skin, sickle cell disease, which we have heard, maternal and child health issues, anemia and other nutritional deficiencies, and non-communicable diseases, and also about addiction, alcohol, tobacco, and other addictions. Then we also launched what is called as a tribal telemedicine center. We called it as MITR, Managing Illness Using Telemedicine for Tribal and Remote Areas. We were working in a hybrid model, and we picked up a CHC where these people could come there, and our doctors from Jodhpur, we had a dedicated time where we would be giving telemedicine consultation to them. So the common problems that we saw were general medicine issues, dermatology, pediatrics, and these are the three commonest things that we were seeing and giving consultation. And from November 2020 till 18th March 20, we have done around 226 teleconsultations, and all are referred from the CHC at the Abu Road. And as Dr. Kapoor said, that This experience, what we are gathering from District Sirohi, we should be able to have it all across the country, different places where tertiary institutions come forward and be part of running these tribal organizations and work with the tribal healers, and so that it's part of the main stream healthcare. And this model satellite center for tribal health and research district can be replicated in other tribal areas also. And inaccessible tribal areas can be made accessible through the telemedicine facility, which is not difficult with the country being going digital in more than in a very big way. So this is where we stand at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, working with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And thank you for giving this opportunity to share our experience.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mishra. I'd like to now request Dr. Anupam Sachdeva, pediatric hematologist and oncologist at Gangaram Hospital, Delhi, to tell us more about sickle cell disease that studies have shown to occur among tribal populations.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Honorable Minister of Health, Minister of Tribal Affairs, and all the people there. The sickle cell disease is a very common disease in the tribal areas, and practically the whole of the tribal area is affected with it. And that leads to a major issue because the access to medical care is very poor, and it leads to a major disability in these patients. So we decided somewhere in the month of September, October, and a national council was made of sickle cell disease. And what was decided was that we should take some action on it. So what happened is that the areas which we are trying to focus on are Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, parts of Gujarat, parts of Tamil Nadu in the Nilgiri Hills, and Odisha, etc. These are the areas where sickle cell carrier status goes up to even 40%. And we have a population of nearly 1.5 crore of sickle cell trait, that is the carriers of sickle cell disease in these patients, in these areas, and nearly 15 lakh sicklers in these areas. So what was decided was that we should have a, So at the policy level, there was absence of clear testing. People are still following the solubility test and the CBC, but now we have hard tests available which can give you the answer within a jiffy, and they are not even very expensive. There was absence of database of sickle cell. Yes, there are people who have done database piecemeal. So we need to integrate that with the full population being taken care of. And what we have now got is a ICMR database for sicklers and thalassemics, and we have integrated that with the whole thing, plus a database for patient management also attached along with that, so that we do not ruffle any feathers, as I say. The ICMR gets its start data as it is, no tampering with it, and no changes in that, and then we go on to the patient database. There is a lack of advanced techniques, and what we have envisaged is that there will be all medical colleges in these areas will be taken as regional centers, and they will be provided with facilities to take care of that. At the system level, there is inadequate infrastructure, and I think that has been addressed by Dr. Navalji. Kapoor, who said that there will be enough PHCs and CHCs available for integration with sickle cell disease level. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs is also very involved the Gram Panchayats and additional healers for level awareness. And we have, so we feel that we have to act against sickle cell disease. Act is awareness, then capacity building, and then treatment. All these things have to be done simultaneously. And for this, we have started taking action. And this was the action which was taken. The National Council on Sickle Cell Disease was established. Subsequent to that, a sickle cell disease corner portal was put up in the Piramal Swasthya district. There was a national council. Then we have now, subsequent to that, we have formulated training guidelines for the trainers, and the proper textbook has been put in place, which is will come out to a publisher shortly. In addition to that, for training of the medical officers, we have made a book of 8 modules with PowerPoint presentations so that we can reach out to the medical officers in the PHCs and the CHCs so that they can give proper care. Then the performer for sickle cell disease patients has been established. And in a couple of weeks' time, we will have the patient information sheets and the training sheets with calendars, etc., available both in English and Hindi, and then it will be given for translation into the regional languages. So what the action plan is that we should have centralized sickle cell disease patient database with the help of MOTA and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Establishment of infrastructure as per the sickle cell disease protocol of the district. And what we have done is that we have integrated with this with the blood cell component of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare so that we have the blood banks also on board for the requirement of these patients. Capacity building of health personnel, as I've already told you. And then in the regional centers, we should have advanced treatment techniques for sickle cell disease, for example, transplantation. And I know that the IGIB is going in for CRISPR therapy for sickle cell disease, and we are collaborating with them also to sort of bring it up front, right on from the bench to the bedside of the patients. Okay. So this is what the integrated plan for sickle cell disease is. We have a long way to go. We have thought out the processes and we have started implementing that. And I'm hoping that the sickle cell day, we shall have major components of the training in place so that we can kickstart the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sachdeva. Well, you've heard the expert voices. It's appropriate now that I invite the member Niti Aayog, Dr. Vinod Paul, to make a summation.
Thank you. Honorable Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan ji. Honorable Union Minister for Tribal Affairs, Shri Arjun Munda ji. Subramanian ji, my distinguished colleague with whom I had great opportunity to work together. I look forward to working even more so, sir. Shri Piramal ji, Hari, distinguished colleagues, thank you so much for inviting me to this meeting. I wanted to lend my emotional, personal support to this initiative. Today we are celebrating World Health Day with focus on equity. And today's meeting is a very apt tribute to that effort, commitment to equity, and that also to population which has lagged behind.
SDGs are about no one lagging behind, no one left behind. So it's very apt, very appropriate, and I'm so delighted that action has been taken on the report of 2018 that was referred to. I'm so happy that building blocks of way forward have been put together, and we have support from such a great organization, namely the Pyramid Foundation, support from UN agencies, we have support from academia, we have support from global philanthropy. It's a great beginning, getting it all together, and thank you, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, for doing this. I, above all, want to say that we look forward to, at NITI Aayog, look forward to working with the entire range of stakeholders and leadership of this initiative, and I congratulate you for launching Anamay, namely the Tribal Health Collaborative today. Congratulations, AIIMS Jodhpur, Dr. Mishra, for a wonderful, path-breaking work coming out of a Center of Excellence, a national institution like yours, and to create an example of such a strong, meaningful, evidence-driven, collaborative outreach is truly remarkable. Shows the value system that you are developing and the program that you are developing there. And thank you, Pyramid Foundation, for being a partner. I think the impetus that your partnership will give will perhaps be most critical to the initiative, because you have wonderful people on the ground, very capable people. NITI Aayog has had the privilege of working with your team in aspirational districts. I'm very proud of their work, and I know that when they take it forward, they'll do it the right way. I wish to focus on a few suggestions, a couple of suggestions. Firstly, I think if we have to get one thing right in our regions, let's focus on the primary care. Not saying anything new, but in the rubric of Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Center initiatives, comprehensive primary health care, there is something more about the vision, the depth, the accountability of the primary care. It's more than what we normally have thought about. And within that, to incorporate special areas such as sickle cell disease is eminently possible. So I want us to make a commitment that our tribal regions, the scope of the work that we have laid down for us, will have a finite timeline for health and wellness centers adapted to the local priorities, conditions, and the partnership on the ground. So this should be a very time-bound commitment, clearly. Because by 2022, 150,000 health and wellness centers have to be done. We could be doing them like a biscuit factory, but we could do something very special. Because the connect with tribal health, tribal people, our brothers and sisters in tribal regions, has to be done somewhat differently. It is really different. It is different in many ways. Not that there are no differences in other dimensions, rural, urban, one region, other region, this district, that district, but here there is a special challenge, and we know what those challenges are. So to adapt the health and wellness model to the needs of the tribal people of various regions with further adaptation, I think should be a very important focus, and that needs a bit discussion, needs sitting down on the ground with people and carving it out. And we can do it, and I suggest that keep that in mind, that first and foremost it's about primary care. Second is, I appreciate what you've done by looking at tribal healers and their remedies and so on, but also bring in Ayush together. High level of acceptability, low cost, several good things, several things that get accepted very readily, and particularly in the space of primary health care. And therefore, the way we all will design primary health care will embrace the holistic health. And that will be a great model to create for other places, the rural areas, urban areas, and so on. My second suggestion is that Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which covers practically most tribal people, we must make efforts to connect them as a specific effort often there is a problem of even knowing whether I am a beneficiary or not, because we have used the SACC database, which has its own problems, more so in the urban area. Can we optimize their access through PMJ for secondary infection? As a priority, it's out there. And a little outreach, little effort, little listing, house to house, whatever, I think will be decisive, because having an entitlement to get hydrocele operated, or correction for sickle cell disease related issue, or for that matter, a gynecological problem or cancer. Technically, PMJ covers everything except cosmetic surgery, Botox, and transplant. Why we are not able to connect these people? And I guess 70% people would be beneficiaries in this thing. If we can do it, it's just a bridging thing. And therefore, I would say that should be seen as a very early effort that we all do together, and particularly when UN is connected with us, NGOs are connected with us. Something that we must do very, very effectively. I look upon sickle cell related work to be a very special effort. Very special. It is so painful to see these patients. It's misery. And as Dr. Sachdev said, we have not done enough. And I think in that space, one is to make sure, and I stand corrected if I don't know, whether we have the primary care guidelines for sickle cell disease, for health and wellness centers or whatever in the primary healthcare system. If we don't, we develop them. If we have, we make sure that we implement. And if they need improvement, we do so in this initiative. Because we talk about hypertension, we talk about diabetes, we talk about several other things, but this should be the focus, that India will optimize the management, treatment, care for sickle cell disease, which is not rocket science at all, which is about involving people, rapid diagnosis, and within that, if there is a true problem about not having point of care diagnosis, can we have a mission mode effort to get that diagnostic, which is point of care, which can do optimum diagnosis, do follow-up. In the wake of COVID-19, 96 diagnostic tests from India came up in a matter of about 10 weeks. 10 weeks, 3 months. So if you are bent on creating with your support, with BIRAC and other people, let's work together and get a better diagnostic. Why are we waiting? So let this come as part of this initiative. It must be different from how we have done, in the past, which was well intended. But the past cannot be the future, or the present cannot be the future. It has to be different. So let's focus especially on sickle cell. एक इसको तो कर ही देना चाहिए, दिखाना ही चाहिए. बाकी बहुत कुछ है, लेकिन एक सफरिंग जो है और इतनी यूनिक है, बाकी टीबी का एफर्ट है, वो सब कुछ करना है. Last my suggestion is that I think I didn't hear much about demand side and people participation. Now that may be because there is a lot to happen in this seminar, because what I know about health issues of tribal people, particularly in the space of newborn health and maternal health, I know that their feelings, their understanding, their approach to care seeking, how we need to connect with them is very different. And I urge that we look at that very carefully. Because only supply side issues, saying kar lo, pahunch rahe hain, kar lo, I think the huge gap would remain, and therefore systematic efforts at engaging the tribal people, understanding their own thinking, having the right messages which are acceptable to them, and therefore behavior change people in our team will be very important. People who sit down on the ground with them in the evening will be very important to find solutions. And to connect them to the system is not easy, whatever little I know. And so a change cannot happen if there is no participation, will not happen, more so in this situation, because of other channels being weak or less adaptable to the situation. And therefore, I would request that we really think about what we are doing and who the partners for this are. That part, I think, is something that I'm sure is there in the approach, but I like to see that much more evident. I also have additional point, which I was going to overlook, that the 15th Finance Commission provides for transfer of funds directly to the third layer of our system, governance system. And therefore, those wonderful opportunities of money flowing to the panchayat system are available. And we should be the first one to use them, create how that money should be spent, create paradigm, how to spend it well. And particularly so for primary care, particularly so for sickle cell disease, would be one additional way of resource utilization. And before anybody else thinks about it, can we do it in this initiative? Because after 15th Finance Commission report, this is one major initiative covering such a large population, and therefore that one opportunity, that switch, that lever that we have, let's use it early, use it effectively, and create a model of how ground level spending on health care has to be done. Last, I just want to again say, NITI would stand together. I would personally be very, very happy to be involved. It actually takes away my guilt that I was wondering what happened to that report. Somehow, please read me. And I kept that report on my table and saying, "Mere ko isko shuru karna hai," but I'm seeing that a lot of work has been done under the leadership of the minister, honorable minister and secretary. So it actually, I'm feeling a little light today that agenda is moving well, building blocks are there, energies are available, partners are there, academia is connected, and therefore I would only say that the role assigned to the NITI Aayog in this context will be played out with vigor, with emotional support, with the full scientific support as I can personally offer. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Paul. I'd like to now request the chairman of Piramal Enterprises, Mr. Ajay Piramal, to please tell us why it is compelling for such a collaborative initiative to be taken and his involvement in it.
The Honorable Minister for Tribal Affairs, Shri Arjun Ji Munda, the Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Mr. Dr. Harshvardhan, our Secretary for the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, Dr. Subramaniam, our partner in this collaborative, Mr. Hari Menon from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and all of you who are so interested in tribal health. We've heard a lot of really good knowledge and data this afternoon, but I thought I will begin with a story. I'm going to give an episode which took place, which is in the Ramayana. When Lord Ram was banished from Ayodhya and had to go for 14 years into the forest, the first thing that he asked his charioteer Sumantra was that I want to go to my friend Nishad Raj Guha's kingdom. Nishad Raj was a tribal. And at that time, when they saw each other, near about each other, when he reached the kingdom, Nishad and Ram actually ran towards each other, hugged each other, and there were tears of joy from Ram's face because he saw his good friend, and from Nishad there was tears of joy, and also he was sorrowful that why is my king going to come here and into the forest. Nishad offered his kingdom, his people, his army to Ram that you rule, I will be under you. But Ram said no and said that there is no other friend like you in the world. So why am I giving you this story? Just saying that our culture talks about a very close relationship between people who are more privileged and people who live in the tribals living in the forests. But that was probably in the days of Ram Raj. Now I want to come to the today's world. I'm going to relate to you the story of this young 15-year-old girl who was married in a tribal district called Araku in Andhra Pradesh. That is a district where our foundation has been working for more than 10, 12 years. And I want to just relate the story of what happened with Sujata. This young girl, as I was pregnant at the age of 15. I'm sure some of you may know Araku, but Araku is such a remote tribal village that even to reach it, you first have to go by car to a certain distance. Then from then you have to go by a two-wheeler because there's no road. And to reach the last habitation, you have to walk maybe 5-7 kilometers. So here was Sujata. She could only get 2 antenatal visits. And then she had a premature delivery. Her baby was 2.1 kgs when born, and he did not survive. So this is in some ways the story of many of our tribal areas. But there is also the other side. After working for several years in Araku, we found that in the last 3 years, with the use of technology, with the use of all the other facilities available, there has been not a single maternal mortality death. So that gave us inspiration that if it can happen in Araku, if it can happen in the aspirational districts, which actually Dr. Paul spoke about where we work, it can happen anywhere in the country. We have a population of 100 million plus tribals all over the country, 9% of India's population. But if you look at the statistics, it is quite grim. 45% of children in these areas, tribal areas, are underweight. 44% of them are stunted. 31% of women in these areas are undernourished, and 58% of the women who are pregnant are anemic. So these are stark figures. I think the Prime Minister recognized that if we have to satisfy, if you have to come anywhere near the SDG goals for 2030, if we don't work in the aspirational districts, if we don't work in the tribal areas, we will never reach those numbers. And that is the basis for us meeting today. Our foundation has always believed that the role of foundations, of private enterprises, is to do innovation. The government system, by its very nature, cannot allow too much of innovation because innovation means risk. Risk means that some things are going to fail. And with so many other, the 3 C's as they call them, whether it's the CAG, whether it's the CBI, and I forgot the third C. It's CDC. It's very difficult to make mistakes, which is what is the role that we can do. Besides that, so we believe that we should do innovation. We believe that we should do innovation on scale. If you do it in 1,000 people, in 1 billion people, makes no difference. You can't move the government. So I'm sure, Dr. Subramaniam, you will only recognize if you do things on scale. We also believe that you have to have people, you have to collaborate and partner with government, because no other in India, if you have to solve problems, unless you partner with government and with, you cannot succeed. Partner with organizations like the Gates Foundation, the SIF, USAID, and all of you over here, you cannot succeed. And you have to partner with the community. I think Dr. Paul also mentioned that quite a few times. And that's what we are trying to do in this healthcare initiative, the Tribal Healthcare Initiative. The name Anamay, there is a meaning behind it. It means disease-free, it means trouble-free. And therefore, this health cooperative is that will make us, hopefully, in this journey of making tribals more health-free, more disease-free, and more trouble-free. I just want to thank the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. They have taken a lot of initiative in this. It would not have happened without them. So I want to thank them. I want to thank all the others who of you have come here. And there have been so many other NGOs, partners who want to come with us. Rockefeller, Ekjut, the Wish Foundation, SIF, and of course, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and many other NGOs who are together. I think I would also like to thank personally Mr. Arjun Munda for his interest, Mr. Harshvardhan, Dr. Harshvardhan, and even Minister for Women and Child Development, Madam Smriti Irani, because she could not come because of her commitments in Bengal, but she spoke to me and has sent a message, so I just want to communicate my thanks to her. Niti Aayog has always been a partner with us in the aspirational districts and here too, so I would like to thank them. And I also want to thank the press to come here, the media. It's such an important initiative for nation building, and that you all are supporting it is a big thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Piramal. I'd like to now invite the Senior Vice President, Piramal Swasthya, Dr. Shailendra Hegde, to tell us more about Anamay, the proposed Tribal Health Collaborative.
Respected dignitaries and distinguished guests, it is my privilege to stand before you this evening and share about Anamay, a multi-stakeholder collaborative committed to improving health and well-being of the tribal people of India. Initially, Anamay will focus on 20 million tribal people across 50 districts of India through 3 core functions. It will first focus on facilitating the delivery of comprehensive primary healthcare delivery in the areas of maternal and child health and nutrition, tuberculosis and communicable diseases, and non-communicable diseases. In areas where issues such as sickle cell disease, snake bites, and other diseases are common, Anamay will also focus on them. The second important function is one of the unique features of Anamay itself, which is focusing on developing and disseminating knowledge, as well as generating evidence from the work that we will do. This evidence-based approach will facilitate cross-learnings from informed policies and thereby further help scale the impact. We've been talking about the push in the digital sector. And the third most important function is the technology backbone for the entire collaborative. The technology backbone will ensure that we improve the governance, accountability, and decision-making for the tribal people of the country. Anamay is being mentored by renowned experts and thought leaders in the field of tribal health and nutrition, including Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Dr. Abhay Bang, and Dr. R. Balasubramaniam. Partnering with the government, as Mr. Piramal already mentioned, is of utmost importance. But equally important is also partnering with the community. Dr. V.K. Paul mentioned about the demand generation side of things, the collaborative will focus on both demand and supply. So demand generation with engagement with the tribal communities is of utmost importance and will be one of the core pillars of the functioning of the Tribal Health Collaborative. Anamai brings together core partners to ensure good governance and strategy creation. It brings together implementing partners who can give us the learnings of decades of work that they have done in the field, knowledge and research partners who can bring in evidences to be able to share the learnings, and last but not least, monitoring and evaluation partners who will help us track the journey and also correct course. Partners will work together towards achieving Anamai's vision to end preventable deaths among 104 million tribal people of the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hegde. As was mentioned, Anamai, the Tribal Health Collaborative, aims to build a high-performing, sustainable health ecosystem to address the needs of marginalized sections of society, particularly tribal communities, covering a population of more than 150 million across several districts, including aspirational districts in central, eastern, and northeastern India. This compendium that we are hoping to launch now of district-level tribal health fact sheets is one such strong step towards generating nuanced evidence that can function as an authentic baseline of the state of tribal health and nutrition. Piramal Swasthya Management and Research Institute, in partnership with the International Institute for Population Sciences, Mumbai, created these fact sheets using the data collated through the NFHS4, the fourth edition of the NFHS series conducted in 2015-16 by IIPS. It has systematically coded, organized, and calculated the available tribal household raw data collated, and it presents a total of 95 indicators spread across 12 categories, including that of population and household profile, marriage and fertility, maternal and child health, nutritional status among adults, anemia among children and adults, among others. A collection of 241 fact sheets that provides health and nutrition information for the ST population of 500 Indian districts. The document also plays a crucial role in designing and initiating evidence-based health issues and policies, strategies, and public health actions suited to the unique social, cultural, and geographic environment of tribal communities. I'd like to request Mr. Aditya Natraj to please come up on stage and join our dignitaries here, as I request Mr. Piramal and the honorable ministers who are joining us online, who are actually there online, as well as Dr. Shailendra Hegde, Dr. Subramaniam, and Mr. Hari Menon to please launch this Tribal Health Compendium. May I request the Joint Secretary, Mr. Nabaljeet Kapoor, to also join us? Open it and you can hold it up. You can hold it up after you open it. I should mention, for those of us in the audience, we have placed a tribal health and nutrition fact sheet in your folders, which has a QR code to the compendium, and you can scan that and get a digital copy. The compendium is accessible also on Swasthya, the Tribal Health and Nutrition portal, and this portal has been created by Piramal Swasthya as the Center of Excellence for the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure now to invite the Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, who's joining us.
my dear colleague, Minister for Tribal Affairs, former Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Shri Arjun Munda ji, other distinguished professional colleagues on the dais, Dr. V.K. Paul, Dr. Subramaniam, Dr. Sanjeev Misra, Dr. Anupam Sajdev, Dr. Nishant Kumar, and we are also fortunate to have the presence of Mr. Ajay Piramal, Dr. Shailendra Hegde, Mr. Aditya Natraj, and Mr. Hari Menon. And I understand that there must be many distinguished people in the audience and a number of distinguished health professionals who must be gracing this occasion offline and online. First of all, let me express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you, particularly the organizers of this function, Mr. Piramal and his team, and people from the USAID and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and of course our dear Minister colleague, Shri Arjun Munda ji. I am so happy to be part of this great function. Being a health professional myself who has worked in the field of health in various capacities in the last 4 or 5 decades, starting from a medical student to someone who worked for the medical associations, used to organize camps in these deprived areas, who has worked as health minister in Delhi and now as health minister at the union level, and also someone who's worked with the World Health Organization and these UN organizations also. I feel that this is a great moment, because when you say that we are launching a tribal health collaborative, it is something which has been a sort of a dream thing for me, and I have always wished that the Ministry of Health could have these health collaboratives with every ministry in the country, because health is something where everybody can contribute. All the ministries, they contribute to indirectly or directly to disease in some way, but I think when the other ministries join the health ministry in providing collaboration and they help us in fact taking care of the health of the people, then it adds a very significant quality to what we are trying to do for the country. We all know that the tribal areas, they are the real deprived areas, and in fact our Prime Minister has been a great visionary. All his programs that have been envisioned by his blessings in the last 6-7 years, their focus has always been on the poor people, on the most deprived people, on those who even after 70 years of independence do not have good quality basic facilities. And that is why we could see a few years back his extreme focus on developmental programs in the 110 aspirational districts of this country. And now I have no words to actually congratulate the Ministry for Tribal Affairs, and particularly I would like to congratulate the Secretary of the Ministry, who is a visionary doctor himself, and who I know that who is working with a lot of commitment and sincerity to ensure that the tribal health of this country improves many-fold times, because these are the people who suffer from many of those illnesses of all types, whether it is a communicable diseases, whether it is a non-communicable diseases, whether it is tuberculosis, whether it is malaria, and whether it is the lack of vaccination, whether it is huge maternal mortality rates, or whether it is even the hemoglobinopathies, etc., etc. There are so many things that they suffer from, but there is a ministry which focuses on many things, but here is a ministry I can see that which is working with a lot of passion for health issues. And then I would love to congratulate Mr. Piramal and his foundation, all the Piramal Enterprises and the Piramal Swasth and the Piramal Foundation, all the various sections of their activities and the way they have introduced this Aname activity, aided and supported by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, also USAID also working, and this certainly will be a sort of an inspiration for others also in the corporate world to actually take up issues like this and try and help the poor and the deprived people with constructive, systematic, scientific, meticulous working, where there are mechanisms to follow up things and where there is a desire to produce perceptible and measurable results. I am so happy that they are going to be working on communicable diseases, they are going to be working on taking care of the maternal and child health issues, they are going to be taking care of malnutrition issues, they are going to be taking care of anemia issues, and then of course the most passionate issue for us in the health ministry and for the Prime Minister now these days is the issue around tuberculosis elimination, where we know that the incidence of tuberculosis is definitely much more amongst the tribals also, and there we need much more focused attention. Recently on 26th itself we had launched a joint offensive against tuberculosis in the tribal areas in the presence of the Honorable Minister for Tribal Affairs, and all our schemes in the health ministry right now, where we try to strengthen the healthcare facilities in the remotest parts of the country, ensuring good quality manpower there, strengthening manpower at various levels, starting from ASHA workers to the doctors, and then of course ensuring that we come up with new sub-centers, new primary health centers, community health centers, etc., etc. At all these places there is a definite relaxation of norms significantly to ensure that these facilities come up there, and for doctors who would love to serve in those tribal areas where we may not usually get doctors, we have a policy of actually offering that you quote and we pay. That's the level to which our government under Prime Minister Modi has gone ahead to ensure that not only primary health care, but through the Ayushman Bharat scheme, we are making sure that even the secondary and the tertiary health care is provided to the poorest of the poor people in these tribal areas. You must be well aware of the concept of the health and wellness centers, where a large number of these health and wellness centers have already been created, almost 70,000 of them. And by the end of the next year, we want to create 1.5 lakh health and wellness centers all over the country, and a significant number of them in the tribal districts of the country also. And these are the centers where we are trying to develop a good quality social movement around health issues, strengthening the preventive aspects, strengthening the positive health aspects, strengthening the promotive health aspects, and providing to the poorest of the poor people almost a dozen types of packages of various diseases, their treatments, packages for their drugs availability, and also for the testing etc. of various diseases. So there is so much, in fact, that is happening in this country right now under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. You have recently seen in the health budget also a 137% increase in the healthcare spending, and also there is over and above that another component where in the next 5 years there is going to be extra spending of 64,000 crores on Atmanirbhar Swasth Bharat, where at the grassroots level, even in these remotest places like tribal areas and all, there is going to be a strategy to strengthen all those facilities which are the need of the hour after our learnings from COVID. When we say test, track and treat, now there is going to be a huge setup of thousands of those diagnostic facilities for treating emergencies, facilities for treating the infectious diseases at the grassroots levels, which are going to be created further over and above what we have already provided in the National Health Mission, which we continue to upgrade from time to time. So right now there is this particular program where we are trying to create a model in 50 districts which will take care of almost 20 million people, and which encompasses almost all the things that I just heard Dr. Hegde telling us about what they are going to do about maternal and child health, about anemias and about malarias and about tuberculosis. So this is something which will be a very good model to be emulated by many others in the country, and this is certainly going to this will certainly help the health ministry also in charting out and in fact in sharpening its health policies which are basically focused for the care of these deprived people, and more particularly in the tribal areas. So on this particular occasion, I will like to have a specific appeal. You will be working on many issues, and we would also like all of you to be working on all the issues related to improvement and upliftment of tribal health, their education and various other facilities. But we would like you to specifically also focus on tuberculosis, because that is one area where we have been suffering for decades, and now for the target which has been set for the country by our Honorable Prime Minister is 5 years ahead of the international goals and the international targets. We want to eliminate tuberculosis by 2025, and by 2025 we want to ensure that we have already seen one of our district and one of our union territory in India, they have already become tuberculosis free, and the things have started rolling on that account, and we would like to have everybody's attention around this tuberculosis elimination activities, where for every tuberculosis patient anywhere in the country, whether treated by a private health professional or by a public service health professional, all the treatment, whether for a normal tuberculosis patient or for one who has to be treated with drugs which are very costly and who suffers from multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, we in the Government of India are paying all the cost of the treatment. We are helping people with supporting their nutritional requirements through transfer of money to their accounts. We are helping those doctors who report and notify such cases of tuberculosis. So virtually everything, and then at every district level, every grassroots level, there are creation of facilities for molecular diagnostic tests, etc., etc. So there is so much that has happened on the tuberculosis front also in recent times, and in another 3-4 years we want to fold up this whole activity and see that the country sees the light of the tuberculosis free India in 2025. An example that we want to create, the way we created an example around our fight against COVID, we want to create a similar example for tuberculosis also. If we can eradicate smallpox and polio in this country, I am sure we can eradicate diseases like tuberculosis also. We can take care of the maternal mortality rate also in the tribal areas. We can take care of their sickle cell anemia. We can take care of their other issues. And this particular event today, I want that this event, and this is my wish and prayer, that this event should in future get down into the history of healthcare in India, because once we are able to improve the health of the tribal people, that would be a very, very important landmark achievement, and it will certainly mean that we are close to the goal of health for all, which we want to create as a model for the rest of the whole world to be emulated. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has a very grand dream and a vision of delivering a new India to all Indians when we celebrate 75 years of our independence in 2022 next year. He wants a smile on everybody's face. He wants every poor person, everybody in this country to be assured of good quality healthcare, good quality educational facilities, good quality nutritional facilities, and also to take care of the women and the senior citizens of this country in the ablest manner. So all these efforts by various stakeholders in this particular direction, they are going to be the game changer for all of us. With these few words, I would love to congratulate all of you once again, and especially Mr. Piramal and all his colleagues, and of course my dear minister and his colleagues in the Tribal Affairs Ministry. And thank you once again for giving me the opportunity of being with you all at this pious function. Namaskar, Jai Hind, thank you so much.
अजय पिरामल जी, प्लानिंग कमीशन नीति आयोग से हमारे वीके पॉल जी, हरि मेनन जी, अनुपम सचदेवा जी, इस समय मैं देख रहा हूँ वहाँ भी और इस ऑनलाइन में काफ़ी लोग जुड़े हुए हैं। वैसे सभी महानुभाव, सभी एक्सपर्ट, डॉक्टर्स एंड जितने भी जुड़े हुए सभी महानुभावगण, डिटेल्स में हमारे जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी नवलजीत कपूर जी ने आपको बताया कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्राइबल अफेयर्स किस तरीके से स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्र में ट्राइबल एरिया के लिए काम कर रहा है, और मुझे इस बात की प्रसन्नता है और मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ स्वास्थ्य मंत्रालय का, मैं आभारी हूँ पिरामल फाउंडेशन का, बिल एंड मेलिंडा गेट्स फाउंडेशन का, इसके साथ साथ ही बहुत सारे स्वयंसेवी संस्थाएं, एक्सपर्ट्स और ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग जुड़ करके हमारे साथ काम कर रहे हैं एक उद्देश्यपूर्ण कार्यक्रम को पूरा करने के लिए। आपको बताया जा चुका है कि इस कार्यक्रम का उद्देश्य क्या है और इसे हम कैसे आगे बढ़ाएंगे। हमारी रोड मैप बन चुकी है, कार्य योजना बन चुकी है। अब सवाल ये है कि यदि हम पिछले कई अनुभवों को देखें, इस देश के लंबे कालखंड में, तो एक हमें जो कचोटती है, हमारे सामने जो सवाल खड़ा होता है कि ट्राइबल के बारे में उनके हेल्थ के बारे में, उनके एजुकेशन के बारे में बहुत सारी बातें हुई हैं। कई इसके पहले नीति आयोग से पहले प्लानिंग कमीशन के रूप में कार्यरत संस्था ने कई बार इस तरह के योजनाओं के बारे में विस्तृत चर्चा की है, कार्य योजना बनाया है और कार्य योजना बनाते समय उसकी चर्चा की है। तो आदिवासियों के बारे में चर्चा हमने बहुत की है, आदिवासियों के लिए चर्चा बहुत कम की है। ये हमारे सामने एक सवाल है, इसलिए कि जोग्राफिकली, सोशली, एजुकेशनली और यदि आप देखें तो देश के 40% भूभाग में जो लैंड एरिया, फॉरेस्ट एरिया है, उसमें ट्राइबल लगभग 8.5 या 9% आप मान के चल सकते हैं, 10.5 करोड़ लोग रहते हैं। तो इसका जो जोग्राफिकल एरिया है, इसके पास पहुंचने की जो व्यवस्था है, इसमें सारे मिनिस्ट्री को अच्छे ढंग से काम करना पड़ेगा। इसलिए 70 और 75 के दशक में एक कार्य योजना बनी थी। उस कार्य योजना में ये तय किया गया था कि बाकी सारे मिनिस्ट्री अपने अपने क्षेत्रों में ट्राइबल एरिया को फोकस करके उन्हें सही ढंग से जोड़ा जा सके आधारभूत संरचना के साथ, इस पर प्रयत्न करेंगे और इस कार्य को पूरा करेंगे। कालांतर में देखा गया कि नोशनल तरीके से बजटीय प्रोविज़न में ऐसे योजनाओं में राशि या बजटीय व्यवस्था बनाई गई जिस योजना में एक नोशनल तरीके से उसका शेयर कुछ भी उस गांव तक नहीं पहुंच पाएगा या उसके लिए कोई योजना नहीं बनाई जा सकती है, इस तरह हुई। और कई मंत्रालयों ने जो इस क्षेत्र में कोई काम नहीं करते हैं उसको भी बजटरी प्रोविज़न दे करके वो राशि को एक तरीके से, उस बजट को एक तरीके से मैं ये कहूँगा कि लोगों को दिखाया गया कि आदिवासियों के बारे में इस तरह की परियोजनाएं बनाई गई है, पर आदिवासियों के लिए उसमें कुछ नहीं हुआ। तो ये इस तरह के संकट से जूझते हुए ट्राइबल एरियाज एंड ट्राइबल्स प्रॉब्लम को यदि हम देखें तो आज हमारे सामने बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है, बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है। और उस चुनौती में एक बड़ा चुनौती है स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्र। ट्राइबल अफेयर्स ने इसे एक मिशन मोड में आप सभी वैसे स्वयंसेवी संस्थाओं के साथ मिलकर के लिया है और मैं प्रसन्नता व्यक्त करता हूं कि जिसकी चर्चा अजय पीरामल जी ने किया है कि हम सब जो भी काम करते हैं इसमें एक जो पार्ट है रिस्क मैनेजमेंट के लिए यदि हम अपने आप को आगे लेकर के नहीं आए तो वो नदी के उस पार, उस किनारे में बैठे हुए लोग हैं जहाँ कोई सेतु नहीं है, कोई पुल नहीं है, कोई ब्रिज नहीं है और वहाँ हम पहुँच नहीं पाएंगे। हम यहाँ से सोचेंगे ज़रूर उनके लिए अच्छी अच्छी बातें, हम उनके लिए सोचेंगे ज़रूर बहुत अच्छी अच्छी चीज़ें, लेकिन वहाँ तक पहुँचाने में सफल नहीं। उसके लिए जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल गैप है, उसके लिए जो मैन पावर है और उसके लिए जो कम्युनिटी मैनेजमेंट, कम्युनिटी इन्वॉल्वमेंट है, उसको हम कैसे आगे बढ़ाएं, इस क्षेत्र में ध्यान रखते हुए पीरामल फाउंडेशन के साथ ऐसे संस्थाओं का कार्य चल रहा है जिसके बारे में हमें आज प्रेजेंटेशन के माध्यम से दिखाया गया, बताया गया और मैं समझता हूं कि एक उत्साहवर्धक कार्यक्रम यह प्रारंभ हो रहा है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री की चिंता इस बात को लेकर है कि सुदूरवर्ती क्षेत्र में रहने वाले लोगों के स्वास्थ्य को हम कैसे इस रूप में लेकर के आए ताकि इक्वल तरीके से उन्हें ये महसूस हो कि स्वास्थ्य में, शिक्षा में, आधारभूत संरचना में हमारे साथ अन्याय नहीं हो रहा है। वहाँ तक उन सारे सुविधाओं को पहुँचाने में हम सफल हो रहे हैं जिसके लिए वो आकांक्षी है और एक तरीके से वह भी संवैधानिक अधिकारी है कि वहाँ तक हम पहुँचाएं, हमारी बाध्यता है। तो कुल मिलाकर के मैं डिटेल्स में अभी बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कह रहा हूँ। मुझे बहुत खुशी होती यदि मैं फिजिकली वहाँ प्रेजेंट होता इस कार्यक्रम के दौरान। मैं आया भी था इसीलिए इस कार्यक्रम को अटेंड करने के लिए, लेकिन सडनली जो रिपोर्ट आया उसके उस दृष्टि से मैं वहाँ आना मेरे लिए उपयुक्त नहीं था, पर खुशी है कि इस तरह के कार्यक्रम को हम आज शुभारंभ कर रहे हैं और इससे काफ़ी लाभ मिलेगा। अब हमें ग्राउंड रियलिटी के आधार पर हमारे अप्रोच इस तरीके से होने चाहिए कि हम इसे औपचारिक रूप से न देखें, बल्कि अनौपचारिक रूप से देखते हुए औपचारिकता को इस रूप में लेकर के प्रतिबिंब करें कि सही में भारत के जो माननीय लोकप्रिय प्रधानमंत्री की जो चिंता है उसको हम प्रतिबिंब करने में सफल हो रहे हैं कि ट्राइबल एरिया और स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में आधारभूत संरचनाओं के साथ युक्त होकर इन सारे चीज़ों को जिसके बारे में डॉक्टर अनुपम सचदेवा जी ने एक जेनेटिकल प्रॉब्लम के बारे में बताया, उसके रोड मैप के बारे में बताया। एम्स के साथ भी हमारी कई बार इन सारे चीज़ों में चर्चा हुई है। मुझे बहुत प्रसन्नता है कि हमारे माननीय मंत्री स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन जी काफ़ी रुचि लेकर इन चीज़ों को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए लगातार प्रयत्न कर रहे हैं। और मैं अपने टीम को, हमारे जो मिनिस्ट्री के जो टीम है, सेक्रेटरी मोटा ट्राइबल अफेयर्स या हमारे जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी ट्राइबल अफेयर्स या हमारी जो पूरी टीम है, जिस लगनता के साथ, जिस निष्ठा के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, मुझे बहुत प्रसन्नता है। आप जैसे संस्थाओं के लोगों के साथ मिलकर के और आप जैसे संस्थाओं के कार्यक्रमों को लेकर आगे बढ़ाने का, तो मुझे खुशी है और हम चाहेंगे कि इस कार्यक्रम को हम मिलकर के सफल बनाएं और आने वाले दिनों में ट्राइबल एरिया के जो जैसे कहा जाए कि वहाँ के जो एथनिक कैरेक्टर है उसको जीवंत रूप में प्रस्तुत करते हुए, जिसकी चर्चा हमारे एम्स के डायरेक्टर ने की है और जो ट्राइबल हीलर्स के मामले में, तो इस तरह की चीज़ों को भी हम आगे बढ़ाएं और जो समस्या है उसका समाधान करने में हम सफल हूँ। मैं इस अवसर पर मैं पुनः आप सबका बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ और हृदय के गहराइयों से धन्यवाद देता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Ladies and gentlemen, now going to listen in to the Honorable Minister for Women and Child Development, Ms. Smriti Irani, who could not be with us, as Mr. Piramal had mentioned earlier. She sent us her video message, which we'd like to now share with you.
The Narendra Modi government has dedicated itself to finding solutions for challenges that have persisted in our country for decades. One such challenge is the challenge of nutrition. Another is the challenge of health that has been faced by communities, especially who are financially challenged. And this is why, for the first time in the history of our governance, we have had an identification of over 112 aspirational districts. Many agencies, apart from those in government, have dedicated their efforts to bringing about better health opportunities for our citizens, especially in aspirational districts. One such foundation is the Piramal Foundation. Today I compliment the Piramal Foundation for the Tribal Health Collective, an initiative which is particularly dedicated to the cause of tribal women and children. We all know that the Modi government has initiated many projects, national flagship schemes, which are particularly dedicated to the educational and nutritional needs of women and children in our country. One such program is Poshan Abhiyan, wherein 8 crore Indian women and children receive nutritional support in Anganwadis across our country. Additionally, we have seen the success of programs such as Ayushman Bharat Yojana, which have ensured that over 10 crore poor families in our country get yearly support of 5 lakh rupees in terms of meeting their health needs across 20,000 hospitals in the country. And that is why this program, the Tribal Health Collective, gains significance. It is a partnership between government and the non-government sector, those who want to see a healthier and happier India. My compliments to Team Piramal and also all other foundations who are joining in their endeavor.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a very patient gentleman sitting up on stage. He's from the nodal agency and the nodal ministry that has been working towards what we have achieved today. Dr. R. Subramaniam, the Secretary in the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, and I'd like to request him to please say a few words.
Honorable Ministers, Shri Harshvardhan ji and Shri Arjun Munda ji, Shri Ajay Piramal ji, Dr. Hari there, and all of you who have travelled from such distances to give your support to this very wonderful initiative by Piramal Foundation. Thanks for all your efforts, all your support, energies. This is really going to be a big booster for the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, which has been looking at improving the tribal standards, health standards in the tribal areas. Friends, 30 years back, my memory travels back 30 years when we were working in the tribal areas, heading the tribal development agencies. The fundamental thing that was always troubling us is to how to save the lives of so many tribal men and women, children, who were losing, who were dying for completely unacceptable reasons. The health facilities were scarce, the doctors who were posted never came and joined, and whoever has joined just disappeared within very few days. So it was a big challenge, it was a big fight. 30 years later, I see that the situation has improved a lot, but still the tribal health standards are far below the national standards, and then completely unacceptable situation. So we still have a long distance to travel if we have to say that the tribal areas are brought to the national levels, at the national level health standards. So in this context, I'm really happy that Mr. Ajay Piramal and his team has come forward. It is actually efforts like this which will bring in a fresh air into the governmental efforts, where we are recognizing that this is a national issue, and there has to be national level collaboration that has to happen by 5 actors. First, of course, most importantly is the community. I mean, unless the community is involved, they are inspired, they become part of the entire plan, it will not succeed. So how to get the community into a health plan, and then how to get NGOs. I mean, we have seen people like Dr. Abhay Bang, who has actually motivated generations with his committed work. There are many such NGOs who are working. How to get all of them together? Then the entire state government machinery, the central government funding, and of course, very importantly, the leadership that can be given by corporates like Piramal Foundation. How we can get these 5 actors together in order to design and implement a health plan which is workable. It is good to say many things on the public forum, but when it has to get translated at the grassroots level, it has to go to the field level, and it has to work. And that requires fair amount of understanding of the tribal customs, tribal way of life, their aspirations, their demands, and the way that they live. So this understanding is very, very important. So as the Tribal Health Action Plan, our Joint Secretary has brought it out very clearly, has been formulated. Now there's a time to implement. And we are going to form a tribal health cell in the ministry, which will work closely with all these 5 actors and coordinate the efforts, and then take inspiration by the efforts like Annamaya, which will be something like a trendsetter for the rest of the tribal districts in these 50 districts. So we are going to coordinate this. We will bring funds. We will definitely bring a lot of political will. We have seen both the ministers participating in this. A lot of political will is there. Things are going right. The time is for us to put it together, act together, walk together, so that the tribals can live happily, and then with the least amount of health issues. I'm really looking forward for the tribal health fund. People like Mr. Ajay can actually come together and constitute a health fund. I mean, this could be something, a very flexi fund. See, the problem with government funding is that it all comes very tight and it doesn't come on time. You'll have to struggle. It is possible that a good NGO initiative wants to expand operations. Possibly they may look for a little bit of support and help. So is it possible to create a national level tribal health fund, which is contributed by people like corporates and from the CSR foundations? Can we create that sort of a fund which can actually give easy access to well-meaning individuals in order to reach out to the tribals? So I'm really looking forward for this, and Health Minister has stated that this should be a beginning of a new era, and we are really looking at that with a lot of hope and anticipation, and with all your cooperation, we'll make it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Subramaniam. Finally, I'd like to call upon the Director of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Mr. Hari Menon, to please give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, and thank you to all of you who've stayed with us through the last hour and a half. It's a really proud occasion, today's World Health Day, where we are able to launch Anamay, the Tribal Health Collaborative for India. And from all that has been said before me, I think it's clear that this is an initiative whose time has come. It's very well aligned with the Government of India's priority on inclusive development, something that the Honorable Prime Minister has spoken for. The ministers who participated today, Dr. Harshvardhan, Dr. Shri Arjun Munda ji, Madam Smriti Irani ji, they've all spoken of the commitment of their respective ministries to make sure that the objectives of inclusive development that Anamay seeks to advance by improving the health and well-being of India's tribal populations, over 104 million people across several states and districts, so that advancing their outcomes, their well-being can help India get to the sustainable development goals. This is really about, as Dr. Paul put it, making sure that no one gets left behind. So it's a wonderful initiative to be part of. Let me start by thanking Dr. Harshvardhan ji for his inspirational words. He is a guide, a mentor for many of us in public health. And so your call to make sure that the issue of TB elimination does not get ignored as we take forward this initiative is well made. Shri Arjun Munda ji, your personal sponsorship and leadership on this issue of tribal health has been very critical to shaping up Anamay and getting it to this launchpad stage. We, of course, now hold ourselves accountable to taking it forward so that the goals that your ministry has set are achieved. The support from your ministry and your team, Dr. Subramaniam, Shri Kapoor, has been very positive and has made sure that this initiative is owned by the Government of India and the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Madam Smriti Irani made some very important points about the importance of nutrition and advancing the health and well-being of women and girls as part of this initiative, which is going to be a crucial element. I want to thank Dr. Vinod Paul, who delivered a very rousing speech on the need to think differently. This can no longer benefit from business as usual thinking. As Mr. Perumal indicated, we will need to take risks, we will have to try new approaches, and we'll have to make sure that we do all that is possible through the collective resources of the members of this collaborative to make sure that we try new interventions. Dr. Paul spoke of the importance of primary care, the importance of linkage to PMJ, making sure that we pick specific diseases like sickle cell disease and look at innovations, diagnostics, etc., to help us control the burden of these diseases. All of those points will guide our work, and especially working with NITI and their support to make sure that the aspirational districts effort can be used as a platform to advance the goals of the Tribal Health Collaborative. That is something we look forward to. I want to thank Dr. Mishra and Dr. Sachdev for your very interesting and insightful talks on a couple of themes that are very important to advance tribal health. There will be many other such themes that we hope to identify working alongside other partners such as yourselves. But the partnerships of your institutions, your personal commitment will be very important for us. Thank you so much for your partnership thus far, and we look to taking this forward in the months and years ahead. The ministries and Niti Aayog, of course, are very important stakeholders. It's not possible to think of achieving impact at scale without the government being a partner. But I also want to thank Mr. Perumal for his personal leadership of this issue. I remember a meeting that he and Mr. Gates had in Bangalore a couple of years ago, when he spoke about the importance of focusing on tribal health. It was not an area that the Gates Foundation had focused on. It was really that conversation that triggered our partnership and interest on this issue. So as one of the early members of this collaborative, I am deeply grateful, sir, to you for your leadership and for your personal commitment. Traveling is not easy these days. That you've shown up here and spent your time is great. I hope it's an inspiration to other philanthropists and foundations who can hopefully come forward and join this initiative as well. For the Gates Foundation, this initiative actually exemplifies one of our core values, which is that all people should have the opportunity to lead a healthy and productive life. I cannot think of an initiative that is a better expression of this notion than the Tribal Health Collaborative. We look forward to expanding this collaborative. As the old proverb goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This really is going to require a lot of people coming together so we can break down silos, leverage collaborative strengths of different organizations, foundations, research institutions, practitioners on the ground, and of course, the community, to make sure that the next decade, as we step into India at 75 and then commit to the next 75 years, that we truly make sure that we bridge the divides between the multiple Indias that exist, and particularly focusing on the well-being and the human potential of India's tribal populations. I can think of no better way with which to commit ourselves to the next 75 years of our country's progress. So thank you so much to all of you for making it here, for joining us for this event, for the launch event. This is, of course, the easy part. The real work starts now. And I think the only way we can make progress and hold ourselves to the goals that the government of India has and to the aspirations that India's tribal communities have is really if we are able to try new approaches, take new risks, and build the bridges that Minister Mundaji mentioned to get to people on the other side and make sure that we are able to build a unified, social, equitable India. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Menon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the close of today's event. There's a very pleasant and very important task now to do, and I'd like to request the Senior Vice President, Piramal Swasthya, Dr. Shailendra Hegde, and the Vice President, Piramal Swasthya, Ashwin Deshmukh, to please join me up on stage as we present small tokens of appreciation to our esteemed guests. And we'd like to begin with the Honorable Secretary in the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, Dr. Subramaniam.